Good morning, brother Felix. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing? You all right?
Good, man. Good. Happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday to
And
you.
we are gonna have a great show.
Absolutely.
So how you been these last couple weeks?
Hey man, I can't complain. How you been, man?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We both got a chilly morning. Y'all got a little bit more snow than we do,
Yeah.
but it goes with the territory because it's winter time, and
I'll be
we're just
glad.
glad to get started and be here.
Right. I'll be glad when it's over.
Well, the bad part about Michigan is that it's we don't know. It can go to June. It can go to June.
Right. Stop. Starting early, huh? See?
Now, has it not gone to May? Did we not get a good snow in May a couple of years ago?
Yeah, it was opening day of the Tigers game. Yep, we sure did. We
So
sure did.
I'm just telling the truth. Mr. Naeem
Absolutely.
Ababas, thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you. Please click like, click share as Felix and I get started on this great Saturday, February 19th, 2022, as we talk about all kind of fun, good stuff. Don't forget to go out and get the book, Gratefulness Journey Every Day, written by Mr. Marcus Holmes. That young man right there. Sorry for the brain fart. It is great to see everybody coming out. We do appreciate everyone when you do. And we're going to jump right to it. Our first topic of the day, which is the topic of the week, voted on by you. You the people who are watching us and taking care and loving our program. And the topic of the week is, should Brian Flores have sued the NFL? Your thoughts, Mr. Felix?
I think he waited too long. You know what I'm saying? I mean, okay, you got fired, but when the allegations first came out and they first told you to throw games or whatever, and you see Stephen Ross or whatever, you should have went to the media then, because you just not saying nothing is the same thing as saying it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's been going on for a minute, so it's kind of hard. But I feel that we got a lot of moguls out here. You got Oprah, you got Tyler Perry, you got Michael Jordan, you got Shaq, you got Charles Barkley. Y'all should come together and get a team, man. And just all, then we can get rid of that. Because I mean, I was just thinking about it earlier today. The guy from the Bengals used to be the Bengals head coach. He was there 17 years and he didn't even win a playoff game. They got rid of him. Then they hired the other guy. I can't even think, like you said, brain fart. I can't think of his name. But it's going to be, because it's always going to be a head coach. This is just the way society looks. There's always going to be a head coach to be predominantly white. That's just how it is. Look at Notre Dame. Notre Dame just got that's their second black African-American head coach. Before that, it was Tyrone Willingham from Stanford.
Yep.
Tyrone Willingham left Stanford, came to Notre Dame. His first year, his record was 8-0-3. He went undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
The second into the third year, I think that's when they got rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
How you get rid of a coach that goes 8-0-3? I get it. Tied to some people as a loss, but you didn't have a loss. So I think Brian Flores, I commend him for stepping up and saying, look, this ain't right. But I think he should have, soon as the match got lit, you should have said something there.
Well, I think he didn't say anything there because he was still a part of the system. And when you're a part of the system and you think you can change, you're going to keep moving forward. I think at that point he had no. I think they really why he did is because they boxed him in the corner. I feel like that he was totally boxed in the corner at that point.
Well, resign.
When he was five from when he sued the NFL is what I'm saying.
No. Okay, you felt he was boxed in the corner.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, when you seen the dirty stuff that was going on, resign.
Oh,
then
I agree with that.
They would have said, well, why you resign? Then you could have said, I resigned because of ABC. But you
I can
stayed
guarantee
there.
you, he's not the only one that's faced that. Only coach, white or black, who's been paid to drop some games. That much I can't guarantee you, but I can put a pretty penny on it. That he's not the only coach who's been saying, "Hey, we're gonna throw you a little extra because we want to get this draft position, whether it be black or white." Hugh Jackson talked about it happened to him, but I don't see any other coaches that's gonna come out for it because it's almost a known thing, like tanking in the NBA. Everybody knows that people tank. That's a part of the game. And so when you're part of it and you're part of the system, you keep your mouth shut, you keep rolling, you hope that they're going to take care of you on the back end. And 9 times out of 10, they don't. I think once he realized that he wasn't going to get another job, once the smear campaign came out, and they said he doesn't play well with others. He was the angry black man. Even if he said something before or after all of the coaches were hired, he was never going to get another coaching job. So go ahead at that point. Go ahead and put your lawsuit out there. It wasn't going to change the fact that he was never going to work in the NFL again. That ship had already sailed for him. The minute once they start putting out all those bad messages, and they got those sports talk radio guys to start talking bad about him, he was never going to get another coaching job.
So in your opinion, you're saying he's done as a coach in NFL.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Stick a fork in him. He's a Thanksgiving turkey on Thanksgiving afternoon. He's done. You can take that to the bank. He may I don't know where he may get a high school job somewhere where he can come in and do well. I don't know if he can coach in the state of Texas. He may be able to coach in the state of Texas, and because they pay good money here. They coaches here make upwards of $100,000 and don't teach anything. So he can come down here. No, seriously, I'm serious.
Okay.
If they teach one class, it's one class, and it's the football class at the end of the day.
Oh,
and that's how they do it down here. And,
so you don't think he can land a coordinating job nowhere?
No. Once they once he said Bill Belichick said that he said Brian Doble or instead of Brian Flores, congratulations. As soon as he put Belichick out there, I don't think Belichick directly would screw him like that, but all his other minions will. Oh, you screwed our boy.
Okay.
So I think I would say deflate the balloon on him. At that point, it's go ahead. We're gonna go to the mats, like the Sicilian War. They're going to the mattresses, and that's what's about to happen. Because at this point, he's not gonna get another coaching job, and he may not even win his lawsuit. He'll win some money about it. At some point, it's gonna be a settlement, but in the meantime, it's gonna be a whole lot of letting of the blood. They're gonna talk about a lot of stuff that's gonna come out that they've been doing behind the scenes, because it kind of really started when they fired old boy from the Raiders. I can't think of his name.
John Gruden.
Chucky, John Gruden. When they fired him, it really started there. And in terms of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that they didn't want out, that got kind of put out there on purpose and mistakenly when they were talking about the things that he said and things that he had done. So you think he's the only one who's done these things, who sent these emails, who said these stuff about people? And there's another lawsuit that's they've been trying to keep quiet. The cheerleaders for the Washington Redskins, the old Redskin cheerleaders.
Oh yeah, with Daniel Snyder, right?
With Daniel Snyder, that's going to come out and really, because that was a part of the John Gruden thing too. So it's a lot of things going on in the field that they like to do a good job of covering up and like Outkast says, roses really smell like boo boo, and there's a lot of that going on in the NFL.
Oh boy, he clicked it out.
It's a good analogy.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yes. In this case, for them, for the NFL, it's going to be a lot between now and I would say July. A lot of stuff. I'm willing to bet that it's really going to go away by the time training camp starts. So between now and July, a lot of that's going to come out. You're going to see a lot of ugliness, and it's going to be a whole lot of just like in regular politics. You see them on the Sunday morning talk shows where they out there and everybody's talking about their, what their side of it is, and they just kind of I forget what their name they call them, but they send their people ahead and they so they want to control the narrative, and the NFL will control their own narrative. They're very, very good at that. And even though they apologized about the Kaepernick situation, Kaepernick still never got another job, and I knew that was going to happen from the time he kneeled. I said, as soon as he leaves that team, he was going to be done.
And the Kaepernick thing, though, it kind of looked like he didn't want to play no more. Like when he showed up to the high school with the T-shirt on, and it was like I'm fine with this situation. So I mean that's kind of different.
Oh, in my opinion, for Kaepernick, when he did that, I'm like, he ain't got nothing else to lose. They really don't want to sign him anyway, because the NFL has to control everything. And when you look at that, the writer he was supposed to sign, the the paper when he gets started. So that was going to he didn't want to give away his rights right then and there because they'd always okay, we're gonna put it on TV, we're gonna publicize this, we're gonna show everybody your workout, and when they get there, it's different. So so I wasn't upset when he went to the high school and he went over there because if it was something that bad, NFL quality receivers and former receivers wouldn't have gone with him. They would have turned their back on him too. So we want to thank. Let's see, we got some people who joined us this morning. We have Miss Renee Jackson. Thank you for joining us. Reginald Leon Hill, Michael Williams, Darren Smith. Congratulations to Mr. Darren Smith on the birth of your baby. These are the great times, even though you may not get a lot of sleep. These are the best times to have that baby around because that baby is going to be there and depend on you. When they get to be older, they're going to act like they don't know you until they want some money. So congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'll be seeing him at work. He did tell me, yeah. He got his, I think that's his second, if I ain't mistaken. Something like that.
First, second, third, they're always a blessing.
He got me beat. I have 0.
Well, it's not a bad thing. But these ones I got in the house right now, I love them. But there's some days where
What you got? 2?
I have 3 in my house right now. I have 4 total.
3. So you got 2 boys and a girl.
I got 2 boys, 2 girls. Boy 22, girl 19. She'll be 19 next month. My daughter just turned 18, and I got a 15-year-old to be 16 in June.
Oh, you got 4.
I got 4. Yes. My oldest daughter's in Detroit. She's in Detroit right now.
And then you got a dog.
And I got the dog. He's sitting right here. He's happy. He got 5. You're right. He's enjoying his bully stick. I'm keeping him quiet. Okay. So I'm doing my best to keep him quiet right now. So so thank you everybody for joining once again. Click like, click share, and don't forget to go out and get the book. And we want to just thank you everybody once again for joining us. Call your uncles, call your aunties, call the barbershop, tell them to get on the internet and check out Sports Talk with Kamau and Felix. We are having another banner day. We're moving into the NBA where they on Thursday they finished up the first half of this. Well, it's not technically the first half, but the All-Star break began on Thursday night and ended with a fantastic rock'em sock'em bang up game with 76ers and Milwaukee. Went down to the final minutes. Joel Embiid, who I call him this generation's Pat Ewing, he showed up like he wanted to play. And I may have to be quiet. I might not stop calling him that because he has been playing very, very well. I've always said he was a top 5 player, but he doesn't always want to show it every night. But he's been showing it this year. So I have to give him credit for that. And if you do get a championship, I'll be the first to say I was wrong. But I'm not going to quite say it yet because they got that crazy trade, which we're going to talk about in Stupid Sports News. We're going to hold off on that one because that trade was a little outrageous. Let's see here. In the Eastern Conference, we have a change. The Heat, Bulls, 76ers, Cavaliers, and Heat, Bulls, 76ers, Cavaliers, Bucks, and Celtics are the top 6 teams. Let's see. We have who came up from the Heat came from the 3rd spot the last time we had a show, and now they're in the 1st place. The Bulls, 76ers, Cavaliers. Cavaliers are still playing steady. I think the Bucks are kind of pacing themselves a little bit because they normally step up in the bigger games and play pretty well. They played well against 76ers, but they may have won the game, but they did step up. And the Celtics, the team with all that talent, and in my opinion, they got exposed in the beginning of the year when they talked about how the Tatum and them guys don't want to pass the ball. And so they're in 6th spot still. They're still in good playoff contention. And they're on pace right now. It looks like the Celtics and the Bulls in the first round if things stay the way they are. But we shall see. Right now we are at the All-Star break there in Cleveland. Last night they had the Futures game. And guess who was the MVP? Cade Cunningham. Well, Cade was the MVP last night over LaMelo Ball. And I watch the Sports Center and I see the highlights. And you can see those guys just seem like they were so happy to be out there and just excited, just happy and excited. You know, like little kids, 1st year, 2nd year teams playing. I like the format, so everybody plays at least 2 games. The winner of each game play in the championship game. First game is to 50, and the second game is to 25. Because they want to give credence and show love to the 75th year of the NBA. But it's just this, and the uniforms look pretty cool, and I was excited to see all the smiles. That's basically what you can see, the smiles on those kids out there. So we're gonna see how they're moving forward, and moving into what we want to talk about for the NBA today. I went on an excursion. I text you about going to see Pistons and the Mavericks. I got to see them play at the American Airlines Center, and I was really upset at those Pistons. And here's why: they got talent. That team has talent. They can play with anybody, but they are lazy. LAZY. And if I was to keep, I would only keep 3 people off that team. I would keep Olin, I would keep Isaiah Stewart, and I would keep Cade. The rest of them bums, I would ship out of there tomorrow. And I kept saying, why I keep trading everybody last year. You remember that? And they kept getting rid of everybody. I see why. I see why they turned their whole roster over. They are lazy. They only played the first 6 minutes of the first quarter. After that, they weren't hustling for nothing. Only 2 people that hustled was Olin and Stewart, and they're both centers. And they when Olin comes out, Stewart comes in, and vice versa. Other than that, McCade didn't play. Cade was hurt. I would get rid of the rest of them. But they got talent. When they played with them, they wanted to play. They were right there with them. And it was to me, it was embarrassing to watch the coach over there yelling and screaming and calling out plays, and watch them guys just be like, Ole defense. I now see why they turned that roster over so much. To me, you want to put a product on the floor. I know we're in the quote unquote rebuilding phase, but you still want to put a product on the court that's competitive. And they weren't even that. They lost by 30. 30. I said watch the whole game. They lost by 30. I wanted to run down there and yell at them, what is y'all problem? Y'all embarrassing. But my seat was a pretty good seat. I wasn't that far out. And had I been closer, I probably got kicked out of the arena for cussing them out for being so dang on lazy. What's the name of the kid that went to Michigan that's played? I can't think of his name. He came off the bench and put up 25 against the Pistons. Terrible. Was Dirk Nowitzki? Not Dirk. What's the other kid's name? The other European kid that keep putting up all the points. 77.
Oh, we got Doncic. Look at that.
Doncic. He out there dribbling with the ball, and when he jumping in the air and the side with a smile on his face, like they ain't gonna do nothing to me. Literally, just look on his face. I'm like, y'all, no, we don't do that. He's supposed to get fouled. I know this is not the old NBA, but you supposed to at least let him know you don't come through here like that. He dribbling with one hand. He literally got the defender pushed off like this. Dribbling with the left hand, dribbling with the right. He got the ball in his hand. He'll jump in at the side and tossing. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It was like he padding his stats that night. Oh, I'm gonna get this triple double against the Pistons. They suck. And that was the look on his face. That was his whole attitude the whole time. And I'm thinking to myself, at what point do you have pride? And somebody give him a little extra to let him know, if y'all win this game, we just not gonna give it to you.
Man, I'm shocked that you. What's the word? I'm shocked that you even paid to see that. Man, sorry, man. It's the coaching. It's the man. They don't care. Like it might be what you said. Maybe they are lazy. Maybe they're just playing for paycheck because they're like what 17 or something.
They are. I had it. Okay. Yeah, 17 and 40. I had it. I'm sorry. No, they're 13. That's right. That is right. They're 13 and 45.
13
and 45.
13 and 45.
13 and 45.
Wow.
I'm gonna click over here real quick just to confirm this. They are 13 and 45 going into the All-Star break. That makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
Let me see NBA real quick. I'm checking this. I'm trying to quickly check this real quick. Let's see score standings. But anyway, I was just really upset to see them play that way. And they look good in the whites, the old school whites. You're 13-45. That is correct. They're 13-45. And the last time we talked, they were 12-40. So they were 1-6 over the last week since we had our show. So okay, over the last 4 shows, they were 7-32, 11-34, 12-40, 13-45.
That's terrible.
It's terrible. And to me, when you see it, it's not the coaching. He out there trying. He out there talking, and you should when he called timeout, his face is so hurt. His face is literally like this. He looked up in the sky like, Lord, please don't go in there and let me cuss these boys out and get fired. He got that look on his face. You know how your coach was in practice. When we all dogging it, he come in and cuss everybody out. You got to run sprints. He had that look from the second quarter on. He up there coaching and yelling and fussing. It got to the point in the fourth quarter, he just sat out. He just had this look on his face. And now, and when Shaq and Barkley spoke up about it a few weeks back, I think that's when they went from 7-32 to 11-34. But after that, they went back to doing it again. I was saying he's not the coach. I'm not saying he's not the coach. I'm saying he is a decent enough coach to where they should be doing better. And that's to me, it's the players that need to look in the mirror and say, "Hey, we got to cut this crap out." I know we quote unquote rebuilding, like I said earlier, but it's ridiculous. It was just too ridiculous. And then you say, "Why did I go?" Because I want to see at least every sports team from my hometown when they come down here. I've seen the Tigers play. I've seen Pistons now. I'm gonna try and get the Lions because the Lions come every 3 years. So I think this year the Lions come back down here, either this year or next year. And the Red Wings, I'm gonna catch them. They're coming back soon. I'm gonna try and catch them this season against the Stars. So I still want to support my hometown team here, but that was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I walked out of there. I came in so excited. I kept seeing people that I know, people from Detroit, because we come to celebrate and pump our team up. We got on our gear. And I didn't have on Detroit gear, but I had on like a red and blue outfit, like one of my work outfits with shirt and tie and everything. I was sharp. I come in there with my suspenders on. And one of the former players, I forget his name, but he does the color for the team. He saw me. He literally in the middle of his pregame show. He looked at me like, that's how I was sharp. He gave me an elbow. Literally, if you go back and rewind, if you go back to that, you'll see that's what it was me, but you couldn't see me on the camera. So I was excited. I just walked out of there so upset. Like I wish I could have went in the locker room and just cussed their butts out because that was ridiculous. And they were smiling at the end of the game like like they had did something. Whew. I'm getting mad all over again. I'm not going to let them get my blood pressure up this morning. Thank you for coming out, Miss Tabitha Goodner, Nicole Baldwin, thank you for joining us this morning for Sports Talk with Felix Kamau. I was just pontificating on the fact that our Pistons need to be smacked upside the head, like the back of the head, like your mom used to do, like, boy, quit playing around and getting there, clean up that room. See, I'm still mad. That's what they needed because it was ridiculous. Don't forget to go out and get the book, Gratefulness Journey Every Day by Marcus Holmes. Click like, click share, get on the internet, get on the phone, tell everybody come check us out, and we got some more fun talking about. We are moving to the NFL, to the Super Bowl, Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Rams are the champs, and first thing we're gonna talk about, of course, I'm gonna make light of, as always, our Detroit Rams. I think we got a nice little graphic of the shirt that's been selling out all over the Detroit area. Everybody just love that shirt. And we also got Mr. Matthew Stafford, our former quarterback and now world champion of the Los Angeles Rams. I had to give him credit. He did give a shout out to the Detroit Lions and the Detroit Lions family for everything that he went through when he was here in Detroit, and gave thanks. And the funniest thing was really funny, haha, how that I don't know if you saw how that reporter fell off the bleachers and he just walked away. People are like, why did he walk away? I'm like, he better walk away. So they will try and blame him for her falling over. It was a pretty bad fall, but it was very smart of him to walk away the way he did. Because I probably would have moved a lot faster than what he did. His wife was, she did what she's supposed to, go over and beat a woman and help another woman up. But had he stood there, in my opinion, he probably would have got blamed for it. How did you like the game? What were your thoughts on the game?
I mean, I think it was like real. I think they really cheated for they really wanted him to get it. But even when you win in that one, the one, I think take it off the table. Because I mean, if the table lands like, hey, you got all the quarterbacks that got one. So with that being said, you would have Brett sitting here. And the only reason I'm putting Brett is because he's the old. So you got Brett. Then the table coming out like this on the side. By the time Matt gets the dish, look at all the quarterbacks that get got. You know what I'm saying? You got Russell, you got the home, you got Aaron Rodgers. So by the time you get your help open, you got to at least get another one so you can sit with Peyton, Eli, Tom to separate yourself from nothing. You don't want to sit at the table with Matt Hasselbeck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's great. So, nah. We got
I think we need to translate a little bit for you, Marcus. I'm sorry, not Marcus, but Felix. Your sound is a little bit coming through a little badly. If I heard you correctly, you're saying that when with Matthew sitting at the table of all the quarterback greats, right now he has one, and we would like to see him try and get another one, so we can show that he earned it, as opposed to the fact that this looks like he was cheated. They cheated for the Rams to win. Am I getting that as a gist? You don't want him to be just considered a Matt Hasselbeck, as opposed to you want to be one of the greatest quarterbacks with the okay. Look, how you gonna try and come back out and come back in? Hopefully the sound will be a little bit better. I'm thinking he was saying that Matthew Stafford is. They did a lot of extra work from the referees in that game for them to win. And I have to agree with that a little bit. There was some few questionable calls down the stretch that went in Los Angeles Rams' favor, and but at the end of the day, they won the game. It was really, really close, but they won. Defensively, Joe Burrow was sacked 7 times, most of it in the second half. After they made Aaron Donald mad. He pushed him out of bounds on a legal play, and the other lineman came over. They pushed him, which you're supposed to. You're supposed to take it for your quarterback. But that seemed like they put Aaron Donald's attitude about 10 steps higher than they wanted to deal with. And he came in after that, and he went to town on them boys. And I don't know if anybody saw the parade. He walked around with no shirt the entire time. I understand that the weather's pretty warm out there in Los Angeles right now. And he was walking around showing the abs and all the muscles and stuff that I used to have. But now the Great Migration has come along, and I got my keg as opposed to a 6-pack. So shout out to Aaron Donald for being in great shape. Cooper Kupp, was he the true MVP? Should they have given it to Aaron Donald or the defense in general? I understand why they gave it to him, because he was he caught 8 or 9 passes over 100 yards, caught the winning touchdown. But I think looking back at it now, I probably would have voted for Aaron Donald because he made all the plays down the stretch, just like Cooper Kupp did. He made all the major plays down the stretch, stopping them on third down, not allowing him to get that first down. We tried to stretch out when they ran that running play, all the sacks, the pressure at the end of the game that made Joe Burrow throw the ball away. So it was a great game. I think for the first time in a long time, the NFL got what it wanted in terms of the Super Bowl, the entire event, the full event, great overall event being the commercials, the game itself, the halftime show, everything surrounding it, all of the production. Only thing I didn't think that went over as well as they thought it would be was The Rock. The Rock have his eyes do this little speech in the beginning of the game, and I'm thinking to myself, was that really necessary? I don't think that it was it at all. Should Cooper Kupp have been MVP? I would go with yes at the time. But looking back on it, I would say Cooper Kupp should not have been MVP. I would have voted for Aaron Donald on game day. I would have voted for Cooper Kupp because he made those plays that was necessary for them to win. But looking back at it, replaying the game in my head, I probably would have gone a little bit more with Aaron Donald. You back with us, sir?
Yeah, I'm back.
Beautiful. All right. Talk really quick about the halftime show. I think the halftime show was probably the best one I've seen, giving it a little bit, half of a step over the Prince one. And I'm the world's biggest Prince fan. So when I said that, all my Prince fans was mad at me when I said that. I think it was the Prince because here's why. Without planning it, it was raining, and he's singing "Purple Rain" in the rain in Miami. That you can't plan rain like that. So this wasn't the rain machine over the top of the stage. This was real rain. And I want to give out.
What year was that one? What year was that one?
10, 12 years ago. It was the Patriots versus somebody.
Was the Patriots and the Eagles?
It was the game was in Miami.
Okay.
And it was in rain. I don't remember who it was.
I know a lot of people on my end said that Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake.
Only reason that one was good was because of the situation.
Correct.
The wardrobe malfunction. Other than that, it was okay. It was okay. We were my buddy Rob and his dad. He would always have the Super Bowl party at his house, and we were sitting there watching it. And also, literally, the whole basement went, "Whoa!" And all of a sudden, they cut it off.
Right,
you see a scene of the house, of the buildings and stuff, and they just started talking like nothing happened.
Absolutely right. That's how you supposed to play it. They did it right.
They did exactly right because that game was on CBS. I remember that year.
Right,
I liked a lot of the commercials. A lot of the commercials were really good for that for this year. And they did a good job of product placement with all of the commercials. Though there was only one commercial I thought was out of place, and that was that crypto commercial where you had the barcode just bouncing around like Pong, and then finally at the end you found out it was a crypto. See, you don't even remember. That's how bad it was.
My favorite one was the Pringle one, where the guy
the Pringle
hand stuck in the thing. And then they buried him and everything. I was like, wow. And then the grandson comes and he get it. That's typical to happen if you try to get too many of them.
That's true. That's very true. Marcus said the Doritos commercial was number one for him. I was hoping we can get Mr. Marcus on the camera today because he was really excited about the halftime show. He chimed in about the halftime show. So he said it was good but short, but not as good as Prince. But I know that he was really excited about seeing everybody out there. I know Mary was looking good. I'm like, Mary, you a little bit older than me, girl. You still out there getting it and had the boots on and had the stockings and I was like, go ahead, Mary J. Go ahead. Of course, everybody's waiting on Mary.
I didn't see the Dorito one. What was the Dorito one? I didn't see that.
Let's see. I actually made a list. So let me go to my list of commercials really quickly here. Let's see. Doritos, Cheetos. I think there was a couple different Dorito commercials. Let's see here. Pringle ham. So it was a Pringles Doritos commercial. It was a mixed commercial together. Because I actually went and made a list to see if maybe we can work it into the show.
I didn't see that one. I didn't see the Dorito. I seen the Pringle one, and then I seen the one with the guy. What's his name? Seth Rogen. Where he married the lady from the that was funny. The lady.
Yeah, that's right. When they brought them back, when they brought the whole family back. Yeah. What was that one called? That was let's see, the Michelob Ultra Big Lebowski when they was bowling. Let's see here. Let's see which one was it when they brought them back? Oh man, Baby Me. That was that commercial when he took the grandson and the grandson was like this, again like the grandfather. That was Baby Me. Yeah, that was Baby Me. The animals were eating the Doritos and Cheetos and it started to be boxed. Yes. It was one of the earlier commercials, one of the very early commercials. Okay, let's see here. That was very good Super Bowl, and both of our predictions were correct. We were both pretty close in terms of the score. I said 27-13. You said what, 20-17, 24-13, something 17, something like that. So we were close, and we had the winner of the person that was closest without going over for winning for picking on the site was Shannon Curtis. I'm gonna contact Shannon and see get him something nice, some kind of gear, probably something Michigan State. He's probably a bigger Michigan State fan than I am. So I'm gonna get in touch with my good friend Shannon who keeps up with us. I don't think he's quite seen the show yet. He's probably still asleep because he's retired. He's retired at 50. He started work early, took care of his money, rolled his years over as a teacher, and now he's retired and does what he wants now. And I'm just only a little jealous. I tell him all the time. So shout out to Shannon for going on the site and voting and picking the winner and the closest score closest to the score. All right, we're going to transition around to college basketball. In the top 10, we got Gonzaga, Auburn, Arizona, Kentucky, Purdue, Kansas, Baylor, Providence. The Friars are back in the top 10. Duke and Villanova. And we have Michigan State at number 19. Some other notables. We have Murray State, the Racers, at 21. Murray State is a mid-major team. They normally have a pretty good team every 6 or 7 years. And but the question is, will Michigan make the tournament this year? So you say they're NIT bound?
Yeah, you go to NIT. No.
Well, they're over 500. So you have to be over 500 to go to NIT. So at this point, they are eligible for the NIT. So they have, 6 or 7 games left. They have to do well in the regular season. Maybe read 4 to 5 in the next 6, and then at least win 1 or 2 games in the tournament. And maybe they can make it to the playing game like State. We're gonna see. I think they have a good chance. I think what they did was kind of a smart thing early in the year when they shut everything down for a week or 2 due to COVID. When that's when they were playing some of their worst basketball and some of the attitudes weren't quite right, and they were separating guys at the basketball games, wanting to fight the other team. So I think that was a smart decision on Juwan Howard's part, and but now they're playing much better. I don't know if that's going to actually save the team from making the tournament. But I would never count them out, at least not at this point. I can't say never, so I'm not going to count them out at this point because they are playing much better. And this is when you make your run. You want to be playing your best at the end instead of at the beginning. And the State's kind of having a little bit of a swoon themselves. They'll probably make the tournament. They'll probably be a 5 or a 6 seed. They'll not because of name recognition, because they're actually working hard and they're playing well enough to make it, but they're having a little bit of a swoon. So don't count out the fact that they could get themselves out if they keep losing the way they have been. They're not losing badly. They're just losing down the stretch. Their inexperience is starting to show. They were unranked at the beginning of the season for a reason, and this is a part of that reason. But they have stepped up and played some good basketball. One of the great things I did want to talk about is this parity, because if you got the Murray State Racers in the top 25 as a mid-major, and that means you're doing good. Of course, the Big East has always had their teams like Providence and who else they got there? Let's see, Providence and Villanova. And then you got Tennessee, USC, Wyoming. Wyoming has been pretty good lately over the last 4 or 5 years. So a lot of parity there. You start to see the SEC teams again. Alabama, Arkansas. Let's see here, Tennessee. They're playing well, and Texas Tech is still continuing to play well, even though the coach from Texas Tech went to Texas, so they're still playing well. We are coming down the home stretch. We're right on time, and now we're going to move right into our stupid sports news. All right. Thank you for that musical interlude, Mr. Holmes, Mr. Marcus Holmes. Thank you very much for that. We're going to start with our Stupid Sports News with Sha'Carri Richardson and her comments about the young lady in the Olympics, the Russian young lady, the 15-year-old who was still allowed to participate, even though she was tested for a banned substance. And her test, she tested positive in December, and they still let her participate. Here it is, almost March. Do you think that is a double standard, sir?
No, sir. I think it's what is it? Unfair injustice. It goes to show you that we are not held to the same standard because they both do the same thing. Why? Because she's older and she's younger. It's just not right. It's not right.
Okay. I agree. I didn't think it was a double standard either. I just thought it was two separate instances of what was acceptable and unacceptable. Sha'Carri, Sha'Carri definitely said, yes, I know I did take these drugs. She said, in her defense, I don't know if that played into her still being allowed to, saying, I didn't know I was taking this. I took my grandfather's heart medicine by mistake. My thought started is, how do you take your grandfather's medicine by mistake? But my 15-year-old know what medicines he take. He can tell you right now everything he take, what time he's supposed to take it, and whether or not he feel like he needs certain medicine on what days. So, but he's very aware, and I know that they were worried about her treatment. The IOC was by the Russian Olympic people. I'm worried that my worry is that she's being mistreated, and that they are giving her things that she don't know that she's being given, and that plays into the fact that she tested positive. So with her being 15, of course, she's going to have a lot of handlers around her, and that are going to be a little bit more involved in her life as opposed to Sha'Carri. Sha'Carri, to me, that's just a whole separate incident. Okay, we should look at Sha'Carri's incident for Sha'Carri's incident. I still feel bad for her that her mom passed, but she knowingly smoked marijuana. Those are the consequences. But this young lady over here, we would because we're talking about Russia. We never gonna know the full story. They are notorious for having people, full teams. The whole of 100 people they send, 90 of them have been on some kind of doping program, and that's just the truth. That's not even an exaggeration. It's so bad to the point where in the last Olympics, they couldn't even participate under their own flag. They had to the Russian athletes had to participate under the Olympic flag. So that, to me, that says a lot right there about the program. So to me, the only thing I would say is this: if you're gonna hold Sha'Carri to that standard because of what she did, they should hold that young lady to the standard, even though she's being taken care of as a 15-year-old, because of the fact that we know that Russia has a history of this. Does A equal B? No, because it's two separate stories. But the end result should have been the same. They should have taken her out because of the fact that Russia has a history of doping athletes with their permission and against their permission. And when it's almost to the point where everybody knows when they show up for training, part of your training is this doping. You're gonna take some type of testosterone. We're gonna do some type of blood doping with you. They know what goes on over there. There's no secret. So for them to let her participate, is it unfair to her, that young lady? I will say yes. Why? Because she's still a kid. Technically, she's still a kid. She's one of the best in the world, but she's still a kid. So that's why it's unfair. But they should have taken her out. And does the Sha'Carri incident, Sha'Carri Richardson, compare to her, two total separate instances. And I understand her saying the only difference between her and I is that our skin color. It's a little bit more to it than that. It's a whole different type of program in terms of how they do things over there. They don't care. Germany has just gotten away from that in terms of them being seen as a doping state. Where Russia They know you know what's coming. Down to the table tennis people, they testing them all. They doping them all. So I feel bad for the kid because she's a kid. At the end of the day, Sha'Carri Richardson is a grown woman. She paid for that weed. She paid for her own weed. that bright orange weed that she wore all the time. She paid for that herself. And I'm not slighting her by saying that. But the point is, that's an adult decision to wear her hair like that, as opposed to that Russian kid they're going to tell her everything to do, from her hair to her makeup to her outfit. So totally different. Totally different. All right, here comes the fun part. Ben Simmons, James Harden trade. That trade was outrageous. So they traded one head case for another. Go ahead. I've been talking a lot. Tell me your feelings on the trade, sir.
You know what's funny though? None of us seen it coming. None of us. Nobody seen it coming. Like they traded. I mean, but now it's getting to the point like it's James Harden problem. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm saying is, okay, he cried his way out of Houston. And he got traded to Brooklyn. Y'all was the favorite to come out the West. I mean, the East. It was supposed to be Brooklyn versus LA. LA out. Nah, it's a thing that Harden and Durant get along. Nah, it's like, now you in Philly. You really think Durant, I mean, Harden and B gonna get along? Nah. It's like now you becoming an NBA journeyman, because after this Philly stuff, you got nowhere else to go, son. So you got to make it work here. So I don't know. I really don't.
I can say this. They gave up a lot. Philadelphia gave up a lot. Those contracts were kind of similar, so they could have almost did it player for player. But then they gave up the picks, and they gave up the players. So they also gave up the former center for the Pistons and another guy. I knew that he had to go. The former center for the Pistons, he had to go. We talked about this before in Stupid Sports News. He never should have took his butt to Philly to begin with. He's playing behind Joel Embiid, a guy who, from day one, never respected him. So that it was never public that they didn't get along. But to me, that never made that. That's not a good fit in terms of players. He did well there. He accepted his role as the backup. He still got his normal minutes, but as a backup, and he still was pretty much was close to averaging a double as a backup, which is what his role was. But I think he's going to be much more comfortable in Brooklyn. I can see Brooklyn taking this trade a little bit further in the long run over the next couple seasons than not so much this season. Because you still got Kyrie only playing half the season until they lift the ban, which I got a feeling is going to come soon. It's going to the state of New York is going to lift that ban soon, so he's going to be able to play down the stretch all the games. But then you got to look at incorporating everybody. So you're incorporating all three of those guys. Well, it's going to be easier to incorporate Harden into the Sixers system. They already play ISO basketball, which is what Harden wants to play. He doesn't want to play a free flowing system. So he's okay with dumping the ball in to Joel to get his, dumping it in 2-3 times. Now I can get mine. He's fine with that. He can still put up 25, 30, being the second fiddle, playing off of Joel, because Joel is a beast right now. And so he's okay with doing that. He's okay. That's how he's going to get his 12 assists. We're going to look down low. We got to open shoot in the perimeter. They doubling down low. Who's the open man? And that guy, so far they've shown they got the other guys can knock down that perimeter shot. So short term, Philly is going to do well with the ones that they have. Long term, that's going to work out well for Brooklyn. If, which is the hardest question of all, what is Kyrie going to do? Is Kyrie going to be there mentally and physically? That's why I asked a question last time about was him sitting out to have the season. Was that the new form of uh, 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 what's they call it loading? I forgot it when they sit you out so many games, so they can do it. He's already sitting out half the season, so his body is rested. Will they be strong enough down the stretch come the playoffs to have everybody ready to go? Before we keep moving on that, we want to make sure we say thank you again to everybody coming out. Don't forget to get the book Grateful's Journey every day. Mr. Marcus Holmes right here. Go to Amazon. Everybody out here got Prime, so go and order. You can have it within a day on your steps. Read it and help get your life together. Like Tamar said, get your life together. Thank you for everybody coming out this morning. We're coming down the stretch. We in our Stupid Sports News. We discussed already Sha'Carri Richardson and the double standard / non-double standard. We're talking about the James Harden, Ben Simmons trade. And we're going to get to Aaron Rodgers. Why? Why not? It's football season's over. Aaron Rodgers is going to be in the news, so we might as well get ahead of it. All right. Ben Simmons trade. My final thoughts on it, like I said before, long term, I think that Brooklyn is going to be the winner of that trade because they got a good center. They got another good role player, and they got a guy who's going to eventually come in there and take over that point role where Kyrie don't have to be the point every night. He can be the two, which he really want to be anyway. And you got Ben who ain't necessarily got to worry about shooting. He ain't got to worry about shooting the jump shot. He can go to the rack like he wants to. And he can continue to develop his game, his jump shot game over time and not so much of a pressure situation. Because you got the best jump shot shooter in the world with Kevin Durant right here next to you. He knows how to play in space in the wide open game. So I think over time, that's short term, Philly, long term, you're going to have Brooklyn. Because at some point, James Harden is going to flake out. He's going to show who he really is. He can't get in shape. You can't get in shape, Brad. What's wrong? You having too many scotches on the rock at the game? And I know they were talking about how he likes to go to the establishments of short skirts and baby oil. They talk about his love for that. But, I get it. You got disposable income. I get it. But your job number one is to be an NBA player. And I get it. You can go do all that off you want in the off season. But at the middle of the season, to me, as a player, as a sports person, that's your job. Do your job. Your job is to play basketball first. And at some point, he's going to probably piss off Joel. And Joel ain't going to be shy about saying how he feel about him. Because he sure was shy about saying how he felt about Ben. Even though I thought they were good Batman and Robin. I thought, you stay together another year like this year, if they go ahead and do the right thing and put their arm around Ben and really apologize and tell him, say the right things and show him the right things, I think they could fix that situation, but they never did enough. So, once his pride got in the way, once the pride is that hubris, that pride is a terrible thing. Hubris is a terrible thing. Once they got there, that was it for them. All righty, the end of the season, NFL season is here. And before I say that, I want to make sure we give a shout out to the young lady, the speed skater from the U.S., first Black U.S. speed skater, Erin Jackson, to win a U.S. Gold medal in speed skating. So kudos to that young lady. And she's serious. You see her face. She out there. She killing them. And I wonder if that speed skating can translate into track. Because if she did that, she might be able to catch Sha'Carri Richardson. That's a joke. All right, Aaron Rodgers. What you say?
I say stop, man. Just stop.
Stop it. Will Aaron Rodgers come back to Green Bay? His team has had the best regular season record over the last 3.5 seasons, almost 4 seasons since that coach has gotten there, since they got rid of the coach that's in Dallas now. He's brought a lot of stability to that offense, their offensive mindset. They've got they got playmakers there for him. Do you think that he's going to go to Denver or New Orleans or Pittsburgh. Do you think Aaron Rodgers is actually going to leave?
I think Aaron going to go to either Tampa or he's going to go to San Fran. And I believe Russ is going to probably go to Pittsburgh.
So you think they're going to send? Okay, so they're already talking about getting rid of Garoppolo. That was to me. That was at the end of the season. Whether they went, no matter what they did, they're not going to have two major contracts at quarterback. You can't have the rookie number one and Garoppolo. Garoppolo is a good quarterback, but you got to go at some point. You got to go with your future. And I think this is the right time to do that with San Francisco. So you think Russell's going to go to Pittsburgh? You said. I can see that being a great fit for him. I can see that being a great fit. And you think Aaron is going to go to Tampa? Okay. I hadn't even thought about that. I heard about that. That could be a possibility. Go down to Bruce Arians, but Tom Brady isn't 100% retired. He's retired in name only. He hasn't turned in the paperwork. He's still on the active roster. They were saying that him and Bruce Arians were having a little bit of friction, but which goes back to Brian Flores talking about with Tua. Yeah, you're gonna have some friction with your quarterback. You the quarterback and the head coach of the quarterback. Those are the two quarterbacks on the team. Of course, you're gonna never see eye to eye on everything. Never. And all my years of playing and coaching, the quarterback and the head coach argued all the time. But he was always but coach, what did I say? But coach, all right, I'll listen to you this time. But coach, what did I say last time? It's always one of them, whether it's in on the field or in the locker room. Why? Because you're competitive, and they both want to win, and they both have a vision. So you got to understand that that's what's going to happen. That happens to you no matter what the situation is. If you win or losing, the quarterback and the head coach are going to not always see eye to eye because the vision is winning. And I think we can win by doing this. Whereas they say I can win by doing that. But with Arians and Rodgers, to me that's trouble around the corner because Bruce Arians don't back off he didn't break down from Brady, just like Belichick didn't. And I think Brady respects that. Okay, we both want to win, but we may have a few little hiccups here and there, but we're gonna work this out. But sometimes it go a little far, and sometimes the offseason is what you need to get away from each other, to come back, to try it again. Is that going to happen in Tampa Bay? I still think that time is done just because of the way he walked off the field that last game. Because normally he'd storm off the field, oh man, get my helmet, throw the helmet, run in the locker room. By virtue of the fact that he went around with a smile on his face and shook everybody's hands, lets me know that he knows, hey, it's this time. Time is coming. Time is coming. All right, we are coming towards the end of the show. We want to thank everybody for coming out with us tonight. Our topic of the week poll will be posted on the 23rd of February, so watch out for that. One of the questions is going to be a bombshell question, and we're going to talk about that, probably whether or not it's the top choice or not. Our next show is on March 5th, and we have a great possibility of us being in the same building, hopefully. We can work on that because I'm supposed to be in Detroit at that time, so hopefully we can have a show in the same building. If we can, we're gonna get us some matching outfits and some hats, and we're gonna be in that boy. Be like stepbrothers, back to back. Thank you everybody for coming out. We do appreciate it. Don't forget, click like, click share. Tell everybody how great the show was. Tell them come check us out. It's always going to be posted on our page, and it is there for review into perpetuity. Thank you so much for coming out, watching Loving Sports Vision of Sports Talk with Kamau and Felix. Have a great weekend, everybody.